Hey, what's up, guys? How's it going? Welcome to Cannes over here for Multichain Day. We had a cool fireside chat over here with Wormhole, and we have Pauline. Super excited to chat with her about all the stuff that Wormhole has been cooking over the last bit. So why don't we start with some quick intros without further ado? I'll be the fireside chat moderator over here today. I'm Nero, CEO and founder of MCA Multichain Advisors. Wormhole is actually one of our previous clients from pre-TGE. And yeah, I go by CryptoApe on Twitter as well. I'm a weekly Spaces host as well. So, Pauline, why don't you give us a quick intro?
Hi, nice to meet you, everyone. So, yeah, my name is Pauline. I am the DevRel at the Wormhole Foundation. Basically, we are two DevRels, so I'm focusing a lot on not just integration support, but also making sure that we have the best DevX for a builder to use Wormhole. And I do a lot of product like content, semi-technical for decision maker, or maybe like people that are not necessarily technical, but still need to understand fully what the product does and what it entails, and what is at stake there. So it's basically my job, because not everybody knows what the DevRel do in general. So
No, I mean that's a good point, and DevRel is one of the key positions that's really hard to fill these days in the Web3 space.
yeah, we're on demand.
That's great. That's great. So, why don't you tell us about your journey with Wormhole? How did you first learn about Wormhole? Tell us when you started, and just give us a quick run through of your journey.
Yeah, sure. So actually, I came from the EVM world. I used to work for Layer2. I worked as a DevRel at Mantle before. So it's quite interesting when you work for an interop protocol, especially because Wormhole has this unique position where people usually associate us a lot more with Solana than maybe for the EVM. And actually, as an interop solution, you should be able to go, and you're completely agnostic in the sense that you have to make those chain communicate anyway. So when I joined, I think it was about a year ago. I'll say that the first few times we went to conferences. So we were the first to DevRel. The other guy is a heavy Solana guy. So for him, Wormhole was like the de facto solution. And for me, coming from the EVM side, I was a bit more like, yeah, there's others around. And so I think what I can say in the journey right now is that the mindshare we are having on, of course, like also Sui, not just Solana, but like on non-EVM is definitely like awesome. We have like great result there. And on the EVM side, I think it's getting into the point that everybody knows what we do, and we are not just like a random name any longer. So we are super happy about that. But for us, the main goal is really that everybody understand the suite of products. We are not just a bridge. We have like a huge set of products, and we are extremely focused on the EVM developer, and we like our main goal is to make it super easy, not just for the user, but also for the devs to use our solution.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. Wormhole has been just growing with launching nonstop products over the last few years. So why don't we jump into that? So I know Wormhole has, obviously the token bridge, messaging, Connect, NTT, and a bunch of other products. Do you want to share a bit more on like which of the products have, taken like the most traction and have really shined over the last year, and which ones do you expect to
Yeah.
really outperform going into the next year?
Yeah, sure. So yeah, so as I just mentioned, we have a suite of product. They are basically designed to fill up the need of any sorts of DeFi application out there. So I think one of the product that is really the highlight for me is the entities, the native token transfer, and it's not just because that product is great. I think it's also showing a bit of a different direction in the space where people are moving away a little bit from the wrapped assets, the original bridging, which will be more, the regular bridge that everybody knows. So you get a token on chain A, you want to send it on chain like on 40 other chain, and basically you end up with a wrapped version of that token, and And usually people did not fully understand what the trade-off they were making there. And so the trade-off you are making when you use a wrapped asset is that not only you do not have any control over that wrapped asset, the contract breach does. And that's the case for any wrapped asset. So it was not just that the UX wasn't great, it's also in terms of for your own project as a builder, if you want to retain like full ownership and full control over your design, token design, a wrapped asset is really not ideal. It can be a good solution for some projects that do not care so much about, whatever they just want to make sure their token go quickly over a different chain. But what we are saying right now is that having a native asset that can go multi-chain is really where the industry is moving. So Entity is exactly this. Entity is a permissionless open source framework. And what it gives you basically is entire ownership over your contract, of course, but also the entity contract. It gives you, you are able to upgrade anything. So it's not a wrapped asset. So you can upgrade whatever you want once it's done. So once you have deployed the token via the entity, if you want to change the metadata, if you want to, for any reason, you want to change your security settings, anything, it's completely flexible on that sense. And also the verification method and that's really one point that is important to mention with Entity is that there is no lock-in with Wormhole, which is not necessarily the case for other protocol out there. So basically, if you want to use the verifier from Wormhole, you can entirely doing it. It's out of the box on EVM, Solana, like even Sui. You can use the Wormhole verifier. However, if for whatever reason you want a different for like enhanced security, for instance, you want to use your own verifier or you want to use a third-party verifier, this is entirely compatible with Wormhole. So you get a good example, for instance, Lido decided to do that. So they had this rep stake ETH on, and they wanted on BNB. And basically they used Wormhole and Axeler. So this is the combo we are seeing more and more. And the fact that there's no lock-in, it gives you such a it's an easy choice, right? Like you don't have to decide that, okay, I'm going to choose that solution and now that's it. Like, no, you can do whatever you want. And I think most of the Wormhole products are designed in that way. It's really designed for the developer to say, okay, I need that feature. I don't need that feature. Okay, can I use another product on top of that one? Yes, you can. So Entity can go very easily with Connect, which is like a React widget that basically would it's very easily and like you can integrate it very easily. It's 3 lines of code, and you can have your entity deployment attached to your config file. So it's made like this, so you don't have to build your own front end if you don't need to. So the developer can really pick whatever they plug and play, right? We also have Wormhole settlement that's been built with partnership with Mayan. So Mayan Finance, they are building the whole Wormhole settlement with us, and it's really the last product that was missing, I think, in the suite of product for Wormhole, because once you have an intent based protocol, this is really where DeFi is today. And I think the panel just before mentioned that as well. Like it's just like a completely different level for DeFi, for UX to have like intent based solution today. So yes, this I can go on forever, but yeah, queries is another one. It's so I really recommend people to have a look at the doc, because we are trying to get out there and talk as much as we can about the products, but it's very interesting to see that evolution actually. So yeah.
No, that makes sense, and I think you answered a few of my future questions with that as well. But I guess in terms of NTT, what do you guys see as the end goal? Like, if you were to give a bold prediction on what NTT could look like in the next year or so?
Yeah, Entity is if you will use Entity with Wormhole as a de facto solution for any multi-chain transfer. basically. That's the goal. So it could be, I don't know. Actually, I don't know if it would be zero wrapped assets in a few years. I cannot say that because it's quite a lot today. Maybe not, but I definitely think that that is the future of multi-chain. That's what the panel was saying before. The idea of having a native multi-chain token is the fact that you don't have to go through the bad UX. You don't have to, like it makes everything so much easier for the dev and for the users. So yeah, I think if we will become that, that would be good.
Yeah, it's huge, and also more safe as well. So
Yes.
that's
Yes, exactly. Yeah, of course. Like it used the core protocol, right? So it used the whole security from Wormhole as well. It's not like every product actually is built on top of core messaging protocol. So it used the security of the Guardian, and just to remind, like it's actually the threshold is 13 out of 19 validator that you need to have to validate a message. So it's not small amounts. Like if you compare the industry across the board, it's a very secure system.
No, that makes sense. So I know Wormhole has been, busy, talking to Washington and getting involved in like the U.S. crypto regulations and whatnot. Is there anything you're able to share here on some of the talks over the last bit?
So I think one of the things is most of the regulation happen on tokenization platform. So this is why it's very important for us to shout out to all our partners. So any tokenization asset like issuance, for instance, Apollo or like Centrifuge, or they are the one we are working with closely, because you need to tokenize your asset to be able to transfer it multi-chain, right? And so there is nothing like as alpha that I'm going to share like as a drop, but it's basically where everything is headed for us. Those institutions are like they're very interested. What they're looking at is a reputable solution in that space, and that's basically what the track record is showing. We have an extremely secure network, and yeah, this is what we're doing. And in terms of I think I think the latest one is Ripple. So I think everybody's seen it. So that's just showing that it's going in the right way for us, definitely.
Nice. Could you touch upon some of the products that you guys are building or build for institutions as well?
Yeah, well, actually, the institution, they use either the regular messaging or the entity potentially. Like it's what it will. I mean, you can use other sets of products, but I think once you have your asset tokenized, whether it is a RWA or it is a token, a stable coin is basically the most common use case. But once you have that, and the main interest for you is to be able to go across the whole board in terms of sharing the liquidity, and being able to transfer those liquidity very easily. So yeah, the two main product would be that basically.
Makes sense. Are you able to touch upon the Ripple partnership that was recently announced?
I mean, it's been announced publicly. I think everything is out there. Like any partnership, you've heard announced the high level. But I think the team is keeping whatever they have in store for the next announcement.
Yeah, so saving
Yeah,
the alpha.
yeah, I'm keeping it.
Awesome. I guess what are some general multi-chain predictions or trends you've been seeing over the last bit?
Yeah, honestly, I'm super bullish on like, as I said, NGT, but I think intent is really something that is just blowing my mind, and it's not because I think the most powerful one is really when you have a swap plus an action. I think in terms of UX that makes a massive difference. So let's say like on one click you could deposit your USDC on Base, and then on one click you can actually swap it and then stake it on Solana. I mean, it's in terms of user experience is crazy when you know what you needed to do a year ago on a wrapped asset. Like I think we don't give enough credit to that industry for making the improvement they're making in such a short time. Like everybody complain, that we stuck in the UX and the DevX, and yeah, but like it's an industry that has to deal with a lot of yeah, it's not trivial to actually mint on the blockchain. It's not a call to an API. And I think this industry actually is doing a lot of things in a short amount of time to remain competitive. And yeah, we have trade-off between decentralization and performance. That's true. But I think we're really doing, not just us, Wormhole. I think everybody in the multi-chain world, like industry, is fully aware of the trade-off we need to make, and everybody's trying to do it in the best they can, the fastest way we can. And yeah, sometimes I feel that we don't get enough credit for trying hard and fast.
Yeah, no, for sure. These are the big problems to be solving, and we're seeing slowly that the multi-chain thesis is playing out, where a blockchain is being used for infrastructure rather than like actual UI UX products. So that's awesome.
Yeah, I think stablecoin today with institution is like the biggest proof that it's not just like infra for infra. I think that when you see the amount of money and volume that is going through, you cannot deny that this is definitely something that everybody's going to have to use. And yeah, I think the main thing is that what you would consider going for interoperability or multi-chain maybe 2 years ago as a nice to have, today is like, mate, if you're not considering going multi-chain at any point, I don't know how you're going to grow your user base forever. Like, it's very difficult to, given the fact that the liquidity is fairly fragmented. So if you want the other user, if you want the money, like, you have to go multi-chain. And that is the biggest change I've seen compared to, like, in the last couple of years, I'll say. Yeah.
No, 100% agree there. Well, I think this is a wrap for the Fireside chat over here. So,
Okay.
Paulina, appreciate it. Thanks again for all the insights. And yeah.
Sure. Anytime.